Okay, so risk calculator. All right. So basically, whenever you enter a position or whenever you work out a trade, all right, let's say for example, this is not a trade, but let's just say for example, support level, I don't know, weekly rejection. Take the trade like this, and your setup's like that. Okay, for example. Now you have to work out how much of your account do you want to risk, or work out your lot size to manage your risk. Okay, and this is where the calculator comes into play. Very, very important too. So jump on Google, just have a look at a Forex position calculator. They're all the same. You know, it doesn't really matter which one you use. I just use the MyFX book one. Don't know why, I just happen to be using it. This is what it looks like. Okay, so it's pretty simple. All right, so first things first, you're gonna load up with this page. This is all you need. So the first thing you want to do is actually put in the pair you're trading. So I'm trading JBUSD. I'm going to put in the pair. Put in more currency, it doesn't really matter, AED, USD, not the end of the world. And then put in your account size. So let's say you're trading with $15,000 account. All right. Now your risk ratio, when I first began, like when I first started doing Forex a couple of years ago, I thought the risk ratio was the risk reward ratio, 1.57. And I kept putting that in, and it was giving me weird numbers, and I couldn't work out why, because it's actually not that one. All right. So the risk ratio is basically how much of your account do you want to risk. All right. Now I always say risk 1% a position. Okay, so if you're going to risk, so if you're going to have a one trade, so one position trade, risk 1%. Okay, let me I'll actually write it down for you a bit easier. So a one take profit, you're going to risk 1% of your account. If you got two take profits, risk 0.5% each, which will equal to 1% of your account. And if you have a three take profit, then risk 0.5% for first one, and then the other one risk 0.25% for the other two. Okay, next two, and that will equal to 1% too. So the reason why I do this for the three take profit is just because over time it's worked out better for me to actually risk more on my first take profit, just because I hit it a bit more often, and the numbers play out a bit easier. Okay, so that's what you have to want to look at. You always want to risk 1% of position. Like 1%, more than risking 1% position of your account is really not going to set you up for success. And when you do want to, if you do want to trade Forex full time, and if you actually do want to make this a career, risk management to these numbers has to be addressed. Like you can't get funded accounts, you can't trade for companies, you can't use proper money if you're just not using proper risk management. So these numbers, you just need to use them. Like simple as that. You can use more, you can use less. Doesn't really matter. This is sort of a bit aggressive. Some people might risk 2.5% of position, but these are some good solid numbers to begin with. Okay, so by saying that, all right, if I'm going to do a one take profit, I'm going to enter a 1% risk in that one. Okay, simple like that. Well, if I'm going to do two take profits, I can do 0.5%. Just depends where you want to risk. All right. Now your stop loss is the pips. So in this example, my stop loss is 14 pips. So I'm going to enter 14 pips here, and I'm going to click calculate. Okay. Now the best thing about this, right, it's going to tell me that, okay, my lot size needs to be 0.36. But the best thing about this is it actually tells you how much money that's going to be, so how much money you're going to lose, and you're going to lose $50. Okay. Now, if you're comfortable losing $50, awesome, take the trade. If you want to lose a bit more, take a bit more of the trade. But some people, if you want to risk 5% of your account, you're going to be risking $500 at a 3.57 lot size. Okay. Now, if you're not comfortable losing that, if that dollar figure does not, you don't like it, don't take the trade. So it also gives you an idea of how much money you're going to lose. Okay. If you want to risk 10%, you can lose $1,000 of your account at a 7.14 lot size. Okay, 0.5%. And this is why sort of the bigger the account you have, the more money you can make. Okay, because I'm still risking 0.5%, but I got a bigger account, 100K account, for example. Okay. And I know this might not sound possible for most of you guys, but with, if you watch the video funding accounts later on, I actually explained that the future of Forex and actually making full-time a good idea and a good industry to get into is funded accounts, where you pretty much trade with firms' money and they give you $100,000 like no tomorrow. You obviously have to pass a few challenges and get accepted, but you can apply for it. Like anyone can apply for it. It's pretty crazy without really any credentials. So this money is very realistic. If you're good at what you do, it's very realistic. So don't pass it by, okay? So if I'm risking 0.5%, obviously this is a two take profit because we risk 0.5% both. So I'm going to enter the position twice with 3.57 lot, twice like that. So this is lot size, happy with $500 losses. If I want to lose 1%, then I type 1% in, it goes like that. Okay, so when I enter on my MetaTrader 4 my phone the lot size, 7.14 is the number I'm going to use, and it's going to give me $1,000 loss at 1% risk. And this is super important because when you actually use this tool correctly, the risk reward ratio correctly, you need to actually make sure your numbers match up too. And how do you make sure your numbers match up? You just use a calculator. Very simple. So that's going to give you an idea of what loss size to use and sort of how you want to mix around the numbers. But always make sure that you're comfortable with losing whatever number it gives. Okay, so that's the risk calculator. Quite simple to use.